Hi, everyone. I'm Cassie Brkich with Design and Thrive. We are here with some design team members from Brkich Design Group. Collectively, I'm sure we have, I didn't even do the math on the years of experience, but we've been around for 20 years. And I'm so excited to chat with the team today and to, see how they tick and what they love about all of our clients and all of our projects. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Amy, go ahead. You can go first.
Hey, I'm Amy. I do creative direction and, senior designing and whatnot.
Awesome. Viv?
I am Vivian. I am living in Argentina. I am a graphic designer and I love all things related with crafts.
Yes. Gosh.
Hey, I'm Josh. I do branding website design, and I live in Annapolis, Maryland.
All right, guys, this is going to be so fun. So we're a virtual team, as you can see. They're not commuting to Pittsburgh every day. So I'm really excited to ask them some questions. This is going to be a rapid fire question and answer session. And, maybe I'll catch them off guard a few times. Let's hope. Okay, first question. We have a client come in the door. What kind of project are you grabbing before anybody else? Like, you're like, dude, this is mine. Get your hands off of it. Amy, I know you have your
It's me,
answer.
I know.
Mhm.
If it has to do with food, I want it. I always say that. We did stuff with Candy Company. We're doing a grocery store now. If we were to get a restaurant, I want it. Food truck, I want to do a food truck. Like, let's go.
Well, hear us out, food truck people. What about you guys?
I like working illustration. So if there's a mural or something like that, I would love to work on a mural.
Oh, murals are
Mhm.
fun. Okay, good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with brewery. There's a brewery that comes through. I'm definitely grabbing that one. Sorry, Amy. I know that's kind of restaurant-esque. I'm gonna steal that from under you. Either that or like a sports team. Hockey specifically would be really cool. So
Nice. Okay, well, you're not going to fight too much. We do have someone else on our team that would also want food, so Amy and Paige can duke it out. But the rest of
Mhm.
you
yeah.
guys get along nicely. That's good. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna look. I'm gonna just tag all the breweries and restaurants and mural blank walls and see what we can do.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so this is regarding our last clients or past clients, current clients. If you had an unlimited budget, what would you do for them? Like specific client, specific project. Let's go with Viv.
Okay, we had a client, River Life, and this project, Artwork on the Allegheny, that I think it was really cool. So I think one of the things that I would love to do, if the chance, to create a virtual platform, maybe where visitors could join and know more about the art installations or the artists behind them, even upload their own experiences. I think that would be really cool.
Oh, that would be cool. Amy, did you do that one, I think?
Yeah, that was when I did the logo for it, which is actually funny, Vivian, because when we went there to talk with that client
Uh-huh.
we like walked the area and we totally thought the same thing. We were like, but what if you had the budget to make like a little app or something where you'd
Mm-hmm.
have the actual map on your
Yes.
phone and then you
You
could
know
like
what
see what's coming up next and get to click and find
That's
out more
cool. Yeah.
information.
and what
Totally.
was
To
really funny
complete the
is that was
experience.
before QR codes had a resurgence. This is before COVID. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
we would have never even thought to use QR codes in the design,
Mhm.
and that would be a really cool add-on now.
Hmm.
Nice.
Mhm, mhm.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's great. That's great. I'll call them up. Team.
Oh man. I was like, I wish I would have thought more about this ahead of time. But
That's why it's
like
called rapid fire.
I know. But it kind of reminds me of like Beaver Falls. We already did a bunch with Beaver Falls, but I feel like there's even more potential. Like
Yes.
it's a really cool brand. It's super colorful, and it's for a whole like little city. So you could just keep going. Like there could be merchandise type stuff or signs for like the city hall building type place or street signs. I always wanted to do like those little flag banners that
Directional.
go
Oh, yeah, yeah.
on the light posts.
On the light poles.
Yeah, like all the
Mm,
way down because Beaver Falls has like a little strip, kind of like
Mhm.
Beaver does, and it
Mhm.
would
yeah.
totally, for the holidays or for certain stuff, that would be so cool to line the streets with those little flags.
That'd be cute. And directional. Directional ones would be cool too,
Hmm.
like bringing in that brand. I'm actually really excited because on the city building, they have our logo, which, sometimes we do a logo for someone and, the implementation, there's not a budget for it and they do some things, but they don't do others. But to see a big sign on the building was really, really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorites, actually. Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Josh, what are you doing?
This is for a recent one that we just did for Corinne Angeline. That quick launch turned out super cool. The branding that we did for that turned out really sweet. So I would love to do like a whole stage production for her with the branding we did with the website. Just like some background scrims, drum set head for the bass drum, banners, merch, just go like really all out and like really bring that like full circle from the digital to the like physical.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I saw her the other day too. I was walking through the wine festival and she was on the side of the road drumming away.
Cool.
Strumming away, not drumming away.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, this might be a little similar, but what's your dream project? Like something you have to do before your career is over?
I would love to work on anything Star Wars. So Lucasfilms, hit me up.
Okay. He's a really good friend of mine, so I'll call him up.
Yeah, do that. Anything Star Wars would be sweet. Packaging for toys or movie cover like posters, the title for like a TV show, would be super sweet.
Nice. All right.
That would be cool. Title for a TV show, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll let you do the podcast branding. How about that? Would that be the same?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I knew
as long as you don't mind it looking like Star Wars.
Exactly. It's my brand.
Baby steps, gotta start somewhere.
Oh, what about you, Aim?
An unlimited budget. Okay, we know. This is a dream project. Dream project. Oh, I know what it is. I want to do a cookbook, like a really super nice one where I get to work with a food photographer, so the photos are going to be really nice too. Yeah.
Having good
That's
photos.
what I want to do. I have like 120 or something. I don't know. I have a lot of cookbooks and I care about what they look like. So I want to make one.
Yeah. I bought you a couple cookbooks and they have to look a certain way to even buy them. And then you're scared that you already have them because you have 120. So far, so good. I love that. What about you, Viv?
Books are something that I thought about too. Maybe for children. I don't know if illustrated by me or by another, for another artist, a really cool artist. So I would love to do that.
That would be fun. Well, I'll have to have you talk to my husband. He's a writer and he does a lot of editing, does a lot of writing, ghostwriting. And there's actually a publisher he works for too. So I'll have to connect you with them. Maybe that'll happen.
Yes.
I can't do the films. I can do the children's book.
Yeah, I really like children book. I'd love to go to library just to see the illustrations and have beautiful books in my house. I love it.
I totally agree. That's awesome. Okay, so cool. I want to know, obviously we're a virtual team and you guys are just a few of our team members, but we're all over the country and the world. We're international now. So I would love to know what local to you brand do you love? And, if you know the designer, you can totally shout them out, but I would love to know what the brand is and what you like about it. Amy,
cool. I know, I'm ready. I kind of want to brag on Iron City Beer because I just think it's so fun now that Top Hat is the one that did it. Top Hat is local here and everything they make is awesome. So if you just want to go look at their website, do it. But they redid Iron City Beer and it kind of like looks a little bit like how the heritage of that brand looks, but it's updated and there's always billboards and stuff. Like they don't just do like, oh, I just did the logo and whatever. They do the packaging, they do the billboards, they do everything. And so the complete brand for Iron City Beer looks so good. And now that I keep saying Iron City Beer out loud, does anyone else hear the Pittsburgh? Because I'm sorry. Iron City Beer.
Iron City.
I frequently don't think that I have a Pittsburgh accent, and then there's certain words that I say that I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry.
I don't know. I don't know how to say iron. Any iron. How do you say that word?
Iron. Oh yeah. It's really funny because like even living in Maryland, there's a lot of Pittsburgh people here, and so when I talk to some people, they're like, "You're from Pittsburgh," and I'm like, "What do you mean?"
No, not me.
the way you said downtown iron and all these other things. It's like,
That.
I'm like,
Oh,
all right, yeah,
This
and
just
that,
became a Pittsburgh podcast.
yeah,
And now
literally,
say like your phones are listening, so Amy's gonna have like all this Iron City beer like
yeah.
ads. She doesn't
Yeah.
even. I don't know if you drink Iron City beer.
I don't. I mean, I don't even drink. I don't even like beer, but I really like the brand.
The
So
brand's
nice.
awesome, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so funny. So funny. What about you
Oh
guys?
yeah. So there's a local coffee shop called Rise Up Coffee here. That one, the coffee is so good, but two, the designer JP Flexner. Look him up on Instagram. He does hand illustrations and then vectorizes them for everything they do. So all their coffee packaging, they have hand drawn or like hand painted murals in all their coffee shops. That I'm not sure if he does those, but like just like the branding for those is really cool. All the merch, t-shirts, hats, coffee cups, like their social graphics. He does everything hand drawn and then vectorizes it, and it looks really, really good. It's super cohesive. So
That's really
yeah,
cool.
I'm gonna go
What we've learned
Rise Up.
is that when you have the money to do a full brand and you have the money to do the merch and a mural and hand drawn things, like it really does impact people. Designers are noticing, so that's a good thing.
Mhm.
And you
Oh
said,
yeah.
Viv, he said murals and illustrations in one client. So you must
Yeah.
you have to go after that.
We have to go after that one. Totally.
What about you, Viv? What do you have in your neighborhood?
Well, here in Argentina, people is crazy about ice cream, and we have ice cream stores every corner. It's crazy. And one of those brands is Fredo. Fredo has ice cream stores all over the country, and it's one of those timeless, very iconic brands here. The colors are like the Argentinian flag. People is really fond about these brands, so I think it's cool. It would be cool to maybe work on a rebrand or something. Not a rebrand, but like a refresh. Something. Yes.
Mhm.
And ice cream is really nice.
Oh.
And they have all kinds of products, and yeah, it's a cool brand.
That's awesome. We're going to do some show notes. So we'll put all these brands in there. We'll put all the links in there so you guys can check them out as well. So that's awesome. Okay, cool. I love that. I love that there are 3 different answers, and it's cool to get a little peek into your hometowns. Switching gears a little bit. So obviously we, as designers, we need inspiration. Where do you find inspiration? What's like your no fail place to look or thing you do when you're looking for inspiration?
Pinterest is my first place.
I love hearing guys say that, actually.
Pinterest is probably my number one look up first, but outside of like actual inspiration board things, I really like looking up like old art aesthetics, just to see like even going back through like Renaissance paintings for like color palette type stuff, seeing how they were like using color, and then I really like the Bauhaus movement, very like especially with the more modern, very structured stuff. So yeah, but I mean, if we're talking just like an inspiration board, it's Pinterest.
We love our Pinterest.
I know.
Please
Right?
don't ever go away. What if it's one of the ones that goes eventually? Please don't go away. We'll be stuck with Google Images.
Mhm.
No.
That's the worst. Yeah. I mean, obviously I use things like Pinterest and whatever, but again, like outside of like an online thing, other than Pinterest and Instagram, like I try to find like old magazines or like I like the historical type of like vintage looking packaging. So like thrift stores, to be honest, you might find some cool stuff in there. Like it sounds silly, but there's usually old packaging or old books with design, like print design and stuff like that. And other places is like the signage on old buildings sometimes has really cool, either like kind of quirky typography that was hand drawn at one point, or just the branding everywhere. Not to mention like grocery stores, because I mean that sounds silly, but there is design everywhere in grocery stores. Everything has a brand on it.
Grocery
store. Even toilet paper has a brand on it. So like everything. It's just like once you sort of, become a designer, you see it everywhere. You can't get away from like seeing the fonts and seeing the branding everywhere.
I'm actually glad you said that, because I think you can be trained also. Like Jolene, did the podcast on social media, and she always calls me and she's like, "You've ruined me. I can't look at anything anymore without seeing XYZ. And I'm like, you can be trained with that eye too. You don't have to be a designer, just to know kind of what to look out for. So that's kind of cool. I love that.
Yeah.
What about you, Viv?
I'm with Amy actually on that. Well, I regularly check on Behance to see what other designers do and cool projects, but outside the digital world, I love like old buildings for colors, old signage. I find it really interesting. Old, yes, like packaging stuff like that. I find it really, really interesting to watch the typography, the color, the ornaments, everything.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm so glad that on the phones you can search by like keywords now in your photo albums, because I take photos of letters all the time when I'm on vacation and when we've traveled, kind of abroad and stuff. I can't read what it says, but I love the typeface, so I have so many pictures of just random words on a wall.
Even like floor tiles and like details in the architecture. Those are really
I'll send you one. I took
one
when I was in Como this summer. I took one of just of the floor tiles because one of the women I was with gets tattoos everywhere she goes, like just one tattoo to remember the trip. And I took one of floor tiles for her. It's a really cool one. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
I love that. And the colors are always really good. So I think I just alluded to this fact that, we've ruined Jolene for life. So along those lines, what is one thing that you can't unsee? So like you're looking at something and you see there's a misspace or too many spaces in between a word or something like that. What's one of those things that catches your eye and you're just like, I'm ruined now. I can't unsee that.
I apparently picked up a really strong ability to be able to tell if something is dead center or not. So if something is like, like one mouse click or one keyboard like arrow click away from the center, like if I review someone's designs and I'm like, can you put that in the center, because it's not. I see it everywhere. Like that is not in the center, and they're like, what do you mean? Yeah, it is.
Like, check it.
It's not. It's like a hair off center. So silly.
That is a good one.
Oh yeah. This is just like an in general thing, but like bad menu design like really is like my design pet peeve. So like whenever there's like 10 fonts on a menu or the menu doesn't flow like that's probably like my bad design thing.
Yeah, you already hate the meal and you haven't even gotten
yeah, right. Yeah.
On the same line as that, Josh, like I do love the resurgence of QR codes. I'm not hating it at all. But if you're going to make me look on my phone for a menu, it better be mobile friendly. Like I don't want to turn my phone sideways because it's a PDF and then zoom in to this like terrible font that I can't see if it was printed, I have aging eyes.
Yes. The QR code menu that they just took a photo of the menu and put it on their website. I love that.
It is not okay. It's not okay. What makes you mad, Viv?
For me, it's bad spacing. Like when something's not even, like you have more margins here and less here, and you need something misaligned. I don't like bad spacing at all.
And there's so many tools that just click it in place now. Like, it's not hard to do.
No.
It tells you. So why do we have bad spacing?
I always think that, drop a guideline down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like push that little button that says go in the center.
Yep.
Click it. Easy. All right. Well, speaking of AI, so yeah, there's like all these tools that help you, so speaking of AI and AI tools, this could be its own podcast episode, so we don't need to go crazy, but what do you use it for? What do you like about it? And maybe what are you a little scared of?
It's funny. What are we scared of? Okay. Anyway, what I think it's cool for is, I have a general example and a specific example for stuff we do. Generally, it's cool for like ideating, like when you're in the beginning and you're just kind of trying to brainstorm. It's just another tool. Like I like to make just the old school like word maps. You circle the word in the middle and you make the little spider web, around. It's kind of like another tool that you can use that way and just kind of put a couple questions into chat GPT, and just hear what it has to say for outlines. If it's something less important, I don't hate it for like writing a headline. Like what should I call this email? I don't know what to title it. Like I wrote the email. I
hate
I
email
can't make a title. You know what I mean? It's like I can't make the title. I don't know. And it gives you like 10 different ones and you're like, that's
Please
close
answer
enough.
me is the title. Like I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah. So specifically, it's also kind of nice when we do quick launch websites when someone hasn't provided a ton of text. Either they weren't ready to, they just needed to launch a website, or they left something blank. You know, they didn't write a headline for this section, or they didn't write a subtitle for the page.
Right.
And there's a spot for that in the template. I'm like, all right, well, you know, you put in a couple of stats like I'm doing a website for a travel agency. This page is called About Us. And here's some stuff on the page. Can you write me 5 subtitles? And like, you know what I mean? It's just super fast so that we don't have to go back to the client and be like, well, can you provide us a subtitle for every page? Like, it's only a week turnaround. They don't want to have, you know, or have the time to come back and forth with us. So it's so much better to just plug in some words so that when the site launches in a week, it's not blank. You know, it's still a perfectly fine subtitle that they can go back later and change.
And the client would rather say change that word than look at a blank canvas and have to come up with something themselves, you know? Yeah, because it's a edge.
Yeah. I would say, that's what I use it mostly for too. Like I have a program for copy that helps just for like website design, or just like I'm not a writer, so like when I write something and put it in there, it's like, you know, is this grammatically correct? Stuff like that. Where it's like that's super helpful. As far as design goes, I've really been enjoying the like auto generate stuff on Photoshop, especially when needing to like expand an image out because maybe you want like there's a subject in the image and you want them on the right side, but the left side of the image is like cut. So trying to expand that out, that's been really a helpful tool, which gets me into like the bad side of it though. It's like, a lot of this stuff is taking from just like everywhere, Google, other artists. And so like, I don't know, there probably need to be some regulation on like copyright for some of this stuff to really nail down, like it's not stealing from other artists and designers and, writers, like a bunch of things like that. So yeah, it's interesting and it's scary at the same time.
Anything new like that can be a little scary. We don't know what the future holds, but you're right about that. Because I think didn't Adobe or someone put in their new like terms and conditions, like whatever we use the program for is theirs, basically.
It's like something crazy,
something crazy like that.
Yeah, like that if it's stored like in their cloud that they're able to pull from it. I don't know, something like that. I haven't like really read up a ton on it, but
that's what they're counting on.
It's pretty.
Counting on us not reading on it.
Somewhere in the terms and conditions in there, who knows?
Who knows what we signed up for?
Yeah, on anything. Yeah.
What about you, Viv? What do you use it for?
I am using it and I like it a lot. It's simplifying a lot of tasks for me. Like I use ChatGPT almost daily for just like I write something and I want to slightly refine before sending just to make sure that I did it the right way. But I'm using also Midjourney for small tasks, just like creating mockups for a project. I'm starting to learn how to use seeds or references to create more images with the same style and not getting random. I'm interested in Midjourney.
Sounds like we have someone internal that we need to have train us on some of these things.
I'm just scratching the surface, I know, but it's interesting. Great. It's really interesting. And then I discovered another app. I always wanted to learn how to animate slightly animations, like small animations, and it was difficult for me when I tried with other programs, and now I found one. It's just so easy and I'm amazed.
You're gonna have
just as a tool.
You're gonna have
you
to
still
share.
need the brains. Yes, you still need the brains and the eye. If you don't have a good taste in design, you will have things that are not that good. But if you refine until you get something that you like, you can use it for your designs.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you have a lot to teach us now. We'll have to do
Yeah.
we'll have to do a follow up on,
Especially
AI.
the animation one. I'm
No.
interested in that.
Like what?
Yeah.
We'll be getting more information offline. We'll put in the show notes from Vivian. Awesome. Okay, so we talked ideal clients, we talked ideal projects. Like I really love that you have something in mind there. What about, this might be a weird way to phrase it, but what about like an ideal client personality? Like what is one like character trait that a client has that really makes it easy to work with them, or like open, like the conversation open and things like that?
There's probably a lot, but to be honest, it's just nice when the client really cares about it. I feel like sometimes people are like, well, websites aren't really my thing. So they don't really quite get into the project, but then they still end up giving you opinions, but it's almost like they're giving you non-informed opinions, right? It's like, I love when you actually read what we prepare for you. Like we try, we make all these really nice explanations, we give you Loom videos and all these things to try and help you get into it with us. So it's really nice when the client cares enough to get into the project as well, because I feel like you
not
get
scared
in
off,
trouble
like,
the other way. Yeah, it's like, yeah, and also it might be a little silly, the opposite of like, I don't want people that are afraid to tell me that they don't like something.
Yeah.
I always feel bummed when it seems like people are like, oh yeah, it's good, approved the whole time, and then at the end they're just like not happy. They're not happy with what they apparently approved, and I'm like, oh, well, you should have said something. Like, I want to make something that you like. So if we're talking about something and I'm asking you questions, it's nice if you're honest. I actually want you to say, I don't really like this, and here's why. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here to fix it for you.
Or
Just
even
let
if you
me
don't know
know.
why, like even if they don't know why, that's what we're here for, to ask questions to get you to like know why. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this traumatic thing that makes me hate blue. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just a bummer when people are like, yeah, it's good, I approve it. Yeah, it's good, I approve it. And at the end, they're like just not happy. I'm like, oh man, you should have said something.
Darn it, we're here. We're here to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My ideal client is like prepared. Like nothing bums me out more than when I'm waiting around for like 3 weeks for, a response or text or like, so, I guess it's like kind of, like Amy said, like if they're like when they're like into the project, like, and they're prepared to like actually commit to like working together. That's definitely my ideal client situation. Nothing is worse than when you're just like waiting around for stuff for a long time.
And I think it's not that we don't have other things to do. We can totally do that. But it's like, it derails your creativity a little, to like a lot actually, to like pause something and then have to get back into it. And it feels like it shouldn't take very long to like remind you where you were, but it actually does,
Yeah.
It's like, shoot, what was I even doing? I forgot.
What was I doing?
Now I have to go back. Now I have to get back into it.
You have to get like told of inspiration again. And it's like, well, and then the project's totally different.
Yeah.
When it's like 2 weeks and you haven't opened the artboard in a while and you're like,
like,
what did I do here?
I don't even know what I was doing.
Preparedness.
Yeah, totally. A client that is excited with the project, just like you. So you feel the excitement too, and it motivates you. So I think it's about the energy, basically.
Yeah.
Because that translates into what you do at the end.
It's so true. Like, and I definitely am affected by other people's energy. I'm one of those personality types. So like I try to go a little bit overboard with my excitement because I want people to make sure that they feel it, So yeah, when people are a little bit like stoic, it's difficult for me to bounce off them. And I need to be able to do that. But I think for me, I'll answer this one, because I think for me, it's like, it's that trust. It's that not like blind trust, like you're the professional, do what you want, but like trust us to do the right thing, and then listen to our feedback and our reasoning for doing it, and then totally go against us if you want. Like that's totally fine, but just trust us to get to that point so we could explain ourselves and get them to the point where they understand it, or they understand it, and then they can choose yes or no.
Also, can we just point out that everything that we just said, it reflects us. Josh is prepared. Cassie is a very trusting boss. Vivian has the good energy, and I tend to be a little overly honest. So we want ourselves apparently.
Yeah.
But literally, like listening to everyone's answers was so funny just then because we just described us.
I love that.
little
See,
bit.
Amy,
Like, a
and you're
little
the
bit.
discovering designer that figured that all out. That like,
Yep.
you know, you're looking for those clues. That is so smart and like actually very accurate.
No, isn't that accurate? Now that I say it out loud, you're like, oh yeah.
Oh, therapy with Amy. I'll lay down on the couch. That's so hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, so one last thing. What is your dream vacation?
Oh,
Ooh.
See, I can tell you about this one.
I know. I mean, I don't like where it's too hot, so I probably wouldn't go somewhere that's super hot. I don't know. I'm more of a temperate climate type person. I don't know. It wouldn't be on a boat either. I'm saying I'm not going on a cruise as a dream vacation.
No boat, no island.
Somewhere
no-
where there's trees.
Yeah.
Trees. I don't know. It could be cold. That'd be fine. Like
Yeah.
we going to Norway, Sweden. I don't
Northern
know. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Switzerland was
Alaska.
nice.
Alaska's not that far away, but I mean
No.
it is, but it isn't. Still, somewhere woodsy and
Mhm.
nice.
That makes sense.
I mean, like, I'm always down to go to the beach, so I guess a beach. But I guess for dream, I want to go stay in a hobbit house in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That would be
That's
so cool. Do a little
I would go
tour
there.
of, like, the Lord of the Rings sets and stuff. I know everyone's like, be like, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. This dude's a
awesome.
super nerd, but I am, so it's okay.
Oh.
That'd be awesome though.
We're going
Yeah,
to
it would be so
Croatia
cool.
next year, and I hear that's where Game of Thrones is. I've never seen Game of
Mm.
Thrones. I don't know.
I think, yeah, it was shot there.
So,
That's cool.
all right, cool, cool. Vivian,
Cool. For me, something that I would love to do is to go a place that it's really far from here. Like,
Yeah.
because with kids, you always pick places you can like manage, like close, like not so long hours in the
Mhm.
airplane. So I would choose something crazy like Japan or
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know, Bali. Something
Yeah.
far from here.
that is a dream. Maldives is
Yeah.
one of the ones I want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of my dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Cassie
Amy,
and Vivian going on
A
vacation.
retreat, a design retreat.
Yeah.
I got you guys.
Speaking of gathering information, in
Yeah.
other places, inspiration. That's what this
Yeah.
is. It's an inspiration trip. So,
Yeah.
when are we going?
Japan.
Yeah,
Japan would be
let's
really
go.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so different from what we do on the everyday. So yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, okay.
that'd be
Do
really
it.
cool.
I'm ready. All right, guys. I mean, this was awesome. This was super fun. I love talking to you always, and I love just recording ourselves talking. So this is a fun conversation. I really appreciate what you guys bring to the table, and as you can see, you're all very different, but creativity runs deep. I love it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
It was so fun.
See y'all.
Bye.